Hi, Sunday School kids. This week's lesson is the 10 Plagues of Egypt. So I've got this fun book, Moses and the Very Big Rescue. You've probably learned to count upwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I bet some of you can count really high to like 100. But when they fire a rocket into space or when something amazing is about to happen, we sometimes count downwards, 3, 2, 1. In this true story from the Bible, God counts down to the very big rescue of his people. So here we go. God's people had a very big problem. Pharaoh was the king of Egypt. He had made them his slaves. They worked all day in the hot sun to make bricks for Pharaoh's buildings. So they cried out to the Lord for help, and God heard them and planned a very big rescue. God told Moses, "Go to Pharaoh and tell him to let my people go." God said, "I will do amazing things to show him who he is really the king of the world. Pharaoh will know that I am the one true God." So Moses went, and we learned about this story last week, the burning bush. Moses said to Pharaoh, "Let my people go." But Pharaoh said, "No." Moses said, "Every time you say no, God will send a terrible disaster." But Pharaoh didn't care. His heart was stubborn. His heart was hard. God's great countdown began. 10. Moses held out his staff over the great river Nile, and it turned to blood. But Pharaoh was stubborn. His heart was hard. He would not let them go. 9. Let my people go, said Moses. No, said Pharaoh. So God sent thousands of hopping, croaking frogs. 8. Let my people go, said Moses. But Pharaoh said, no. And God sent millions of whining, itching gnats. But Pharaoh was stubborn. His heart was hard. 7. Let my people go, said Moses. No, said Pharaoh. So God sent clouds of buzzing, flitting flies. 6. Let my people go, said Moses. No, said Pharaoh. So God sent a sickness on the cattle and sheep. But Pharaoh was stubborn. The Lord had hardened his heart. 5. Let my people go, said Moses. No, said Pharaoh. So God sent a plague of painful, purple, pus-filled boils. He looks kind of bumpy, guys. 4. Let my people go, said Moses. No, said Pharaoh. So God sent huge, hurtling, horrible hailstorms. 3. Let my people go, said Moses. No, said Pharaoh. God sent swarms of noisy, hungry locusts. 2. Let my people go, said Moses. No, 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 said Pharaoh. So God sent a deep, inky darkness so no one could see anything. But Pharaoh was stubborn. The Lord had hardened his heart. 1. Let my people go, said Moses. No, said Pharaoh. And Moses had a sad heart as he left Pharaoh because he knew that the last plague would be terrible. Moses told God's people to get ready to go because that night the Lord would bring death to every house in Egypt. The firstborn son would die. God's people all ate a special meal that night. Blood from the lambs they had eaten was put on the doorposts of their houses. So when the Lord saw the blood, he passed over those houses, and God's people were safe. But in every other house in Egypt, there was death and great sadness. So there's some blood over the door. And here's another house with blood on the door. Here's a house with no blood. Here's some blood. Moses said to Pharaoh, "Let my people go." And Pharaoh said, "Yes." God's people set off from Egypt to the land God had promised to them. But Pharaoh was stubborn. His heart was hard, and he chased after God's people with his army and his chariots. "They are trapped by the sea," thought Pharaoh. "I will destroy them all." God had reached the end of his countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Moses held up his staff, and the sea parted before him. All God's people walked through the sea and got safely to the other side. But when Pharaoh and his horses and chariots tried to follow, the sea rushed back, and they were drowned. God had rescued his people from Egypt. Moses and the people danced and sang a song together. "There is no one like you, Lord. You do great miracles and wonders. You keep your promises and save your people. Praise the Lord." So our craft this week is more food-based than craft or art. So your first food is Jell-O, that is red, for when the river turned to blood. The second one is some gummy frogs for when the frogs came. Number 3 is some nerd gummies. So it's to represent lice, those tiny bugs that come and get in your hair sometimes. 4 is flies. So these are chocolate covered raisins to represent the flies that flew around. 5 is our diseased livestock. So you have white animals and brown animals. So the brown ones are supposed to be the diseased livestock. So there you go, some animal crackers. 6 are some snow caps. So chocolate, just chocolate, honestly, with little white balls on them. Represents the boils that the Pharaoh and the other Egyptians got, the little bumps on their skin. Number 7 is the hail and fire. So we've got marshmallows, and then Mike and Ike's that are orange and red to represent the fire with the thunderstorm. Number 8, they're mislabeled. Number 8 is darkness. So we've got Bunch of Crunch. So it's crunchy chocolate. Number 9 is the locust, those other flying bugs that come. So 8 and 9 are mislabeled. So it's just Mike and Ike's. So we tried to put in bug colors. And the last one, number 10, is the firstborn children. And these are Sour Patch Kids. So they're supposed to look like little children. So that is our craft this week, is food. So enjoy your snack. Maybe try and, eat a little at a time. And if you need another version of 10 Plagues, you can listen to this Arch book out on our playlist, all right? So there you go. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.